Welcome back, everybody. We're here with more WEC23 regionals. We've got another exciting set of matchups for you today, all best of threes, as 9 teams try and qualify out of the 33 we've got playing in this tournament, those WEC IESF finals, just a little later this year. We've got some interesting matchups today, Tidler.
Yeah, we do, and running through them today, we're starting off with Bosnia versus Croatia, and then Hungary versus Poland. So, decent teams all across the board, and actually, I feel like this is 2 quite evenly matched up games that we have so far. So I'm really excited for the games that we're having today.
Yeah, and that's what happens when we get a little later into the tournament, right? We whittle off the weaker opposition. We've already seen that over the last couple of days, and then potentially some closer games might ensue. Just to wrap up what we saw yesterday, some really interesting games. That Netherlands versus Belgium affair, obviously going to 3 maps. We saw an overtime in the mix as well. Love to see some close 3 mappers like that today in this one. Right off the bat, do you have any predictions for this first series?
Honestly, I think it will go the way of Bosnia, mainly because of the fact that there are more unknown factors on the side of Croatia. They have a lot of local talent being admitted into their roster. You know, they have a player that, you know, does compete in FPLC and does consistently get top leaderboard rankings there, but the rest of the team not really known too much and have only competed in local lands and stuff like that. While Bosnia, they've had players that have competed in Hungarian teams, have competed throughout tier 2 events in Europe, so I might put my money on towards them. However, I'm not too sure just yet, because I feel like they do have an opportunity, because they do actually play each other in the regional leagues and they don't do all too bad. They definitely have the potential to win this one out.
And just as a reminder, this is the first time either of these teams have taken center stage in our main stream. We've seen some fantastic Counter-Strike over the last 2 days. We've got a long way to go, though. And we've also got the CSGO female division taking center stage over the next couple of weeks. That takes place just after we're done with the male division, where, as I said, we've got 9 spots to the LAN finals to actually give away. That's a lot of spots out of the 33 teams, about a quarter of which actually make it through, actually a little bit more than that. So if you do have your wits about you, there's every opportunity that you can find yourself at one of the bigger lands of the year for this sort of tier of teams. That'll be taking place obviously in Romania, and just a big opportunity for a lot of these teams here. These international tournaments often a real benchmark, a real starting place. You're not playing generally with your full roster that you've seen, and we will dig deeper into the rosters, starting with Bosnia.
Yeah, we're gonna see Peanut World here. He's a player that's been around the scene, also been in different, you know, Balkan teams as well. Sereni's that player to watch out for. I feel like he is a really good player. He's been around the ESE Advanced. He's been competing a lot. Like I said, he had a brief stint over in Budapest 5, who we're going to watch later as well, because they're going to be competing as a Hungarian team. You have D Simca as well, playing currently for Zero Tenacity, competing all around Europe, because he's been competing in Western European tournaments as well, and Katolik as well. Also a fragger, also in and around that ESE Advanced region as well, just moving around teams. So this is an actual star-studded roster, actually, in terms of Bosnian how they go, because I feel like this is one of the better rosters they can make, excluding, you know, players like Nico and Hunter. You know, this is probably the best roster they could make right here and right now.
Yeah, and I've got to say, some fresh talent to this sort of tier of the scene. Supposedly coming into this one is favorites. I'm sure they've got a whole best of 3 ahead of them to either prove that sentiment right or wrong. What needs to be the difference maker for them to take this over the top today? Do you just think that they are the better team?
Yeah, I do think that they are the better team individually, and like as we've been saying, these international teams, like most of them are just, you know, the best players from the region that fit the correct role. And that's why we tend to see lots of those Mirages, you know, Infernos, just those overpasses, those maps that everyone can play, and it's almost like it's individual talent that does stand out. And when it comes to those types of situations, when you have Bosnia just having more reps in, like I've been saying yesterday as well, a lot of these players just have way more reps in on these, you know, simple maps. I feel like when you just have to look at it on paper, you just have to look at, they're going to win. There's no other reason why off the bat where you'd pick Croatia to win it out, aside from maybe having a little bit more insider information or something else, or having possibly that surprise factor that they can bring to the table. But like, just looking at it, it seems like a Bosnia victory. However, it could be close, though. It could be close.
Yeah, it's so hard to say, right? When we haven't seen the composition of these two teams, we will see the composition of the second, the latter. It's Croatian roster here. Do you want to take us through these guys?
Yeah, we have Maki, who has been present in their local scene, along with Sego as well. I mentioned him slightly. I alluded to him getting fourth in FPLC, always on the leaderboard. He's always on the grind. Depression. He wasn't listed there on the roster, but he's actually an upgrade. He's someone who's been playing around in the Balkan region a lot as well. So considering that he's actually in the roster, I think they have a better chance here because he's really good on the server. Roga as well. He actually is recently playing for Tyloo. So this is way better than what I initially thought. This is an actual way better Croatia roster than I initially expected, considering they've admitted Depression in and they've admitted Roga in. Two players that are looking to compete in higher tier tournaments, and especially Roga playing for Tyloo in such a small Asian scene. He's definitely going to get some playing time in some of the top tier events. And, him having the support there. Croatia, I feel like this is a lot closer than I would have thought, seeing that this is the roster that they're bringing in today, because there's a lot of substitutions to be made, so we don't really know initially, what's going to be brought to the table today.
Yeah, and a lot of those substitutions can happen last second, remember? We've seen that a lot of the time within this very tournament where teams, the Netherlands yesterday, slicing and dicing their roster between best of 3 to best of 3, not a full roster of players. Being able to commit to an entire day of Counter-Strike. Remember, we're most of the time playing multiple best of 3s over the course of the day. You're always only seeing the best of the best, really, here on the main stream. I'd say that's been the takeaway from the last couple of days, though. We saw obviously a big win from Belgium yesterday to close out the show. And today we've got potentially 2 or 3 best of 3s, depending on how long these series actually go. But kicking off our day with a bang and a potential close series here.
Yeah, this is actually looking to be a close series, and I've just got word here that this is not a best of 3. These are a best of 1 because we actually shifted region to the Eastern European. Okay. So we're getting started again with the best of 1. So, well, we kind of expected this. The map that has been chosen is Mirage. So we're just going to get right into it. Just the battles right here. Just aim battles, individual brilliance. It's going to stand out again. This is really going to be a difficult game to call now, considering we have had the lineup changes and we have such a middle ground map like Mirage, and we have 2, capable offers on both sides.
Yeah, Mirage, by the way, it's been by far the most common map that we've seen on this mainstream, and that's because they're not playing with their main rosters, right? They're defaulting to this map that everybody knows, that you don't need in-depth strategy to be able to put together a win on, and everybody seems comfortable on Mirage. We haven't seen anybody look totally out of their depth and not know what to do. It is the most common scrimmy, puggy map. So I'm expecting to see a pretty standard game of Counter-Strike, all things considered. I don't expect to see teams dig deep into the bottom of their strat book, into the back pages. I think that we're going to see something fairly standard here today, and being a best of 1 as well, you can basically leave everything behind, take it into this map, put everything on the table, and try and get a foot in early doors in a best of 1 in a series, get a win on the board.
Yeah, and along with that, here on Mirage, I'm not expecting things, like you said, to be very in-depth. It's going to be a test of who has better fundamentals at the end of the day. It's just who has better executes, who's going to be sharper, who's going to be able to get their smokes on point, stuff like that. It's not going to be like who's going to be able to have the better fakes. We're not going to see stuff like that. We're just going to see basic fundamental CS, and both teams will just be buying and trying to get just that one best of 1 win on board, get this round robin underway here. And yeah, just put themselves forth for success, because we've moved regions here. So whatever's happening in the playoffs right now, the semifinals, the best of 3s are going on for that. So deciding who goes through is going to be decided over there. But over here, these are teams that, fresh page, they can't afford to make some mistakes right now, but they will need to iron it out before it gets to the further stages, because when it gets to those best of threes in the playoff stage, that's when things get cutthroat, because we saw Belgium versus Netherlands, two really good teams, and they met each other in the quarterfinals, and I said that those are two teams that could easily be in the LAN finals for sure. And yeah, it's just unfortunate things panned out like that here, so both these teams will definitely be trying to iron out any mistakes so far here in the best of ones.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're seeing Mirage be the map picked as well. I'm glad that you're not putting an entire best of one onto a map that you're not entirely comfortable on. I think that we'll see the best of both teams off the back of that, instead of going to an Anubis and Ancient, where some teams do seem a little bit outmatched, outclassed, unprepared for what their opponents have to throw at them. Whereas Mirage, that's not going to be as big a problem. We will be getting into this one in the next couple of moments, but obviously we do have a second best of three coming up right after this one. Do you want to take us through that one a little before we get into the action?
Yeah, Hungary versus Poland, that's going to be an interesting one. We don't know yet if these are best of one or best of threes. I'll just be honest with you, because it is day one. It is round robin. But Hungary is a very interesting team, because of course they are an actual squad considering this. I'm just going to double check who's actually on their team. Yeah, they're all from Domination, playing ESL Challenger League currently. They've been in around doing those open qualifiers for those events. They've gotten far every single time, but they've just been one of those teams that just haven't been able to get to the end. We've seen them in their ESL Challenger close qualifiers, just getting absolutely destroyed. They've been able to get there, but other than that, it's nothing much more to say. And the Polish roster is actually on the same level. They play against each other all the time, so that one is also going to be very close. It's not their first time playing against each other. They both play in ESL Challenger League. They're both in the same group, I believe. It's the former Permita roster. I don't know what they are now, but they're both playing the same tournaments all the time. It's not a surprise that it's nothing special. So we might end up seeing a little bit more of a complex veto coming out for that game, considering that those teams have played each other a little bit more often.
Yeah, the more comprehensive game of Counter-Strike off the back of it. When you see that increased familiarity, it allows you to dig a little bit deeper into the strategy and play a bit of a different game of CS. You might see the fakes, you might see a deeper set of strategy. In this series in particular, do you have any predictions? Are you thinking that this one's a 2-0, potentially a little bit closer now that we've shuffled up those rosters?
I think it's going to be way closer, because of the fact that there's two really good offers on both sides, and you have Roga as well that's just been admitted. Clearly he wouldn't be put into Tyloo like if he was like some unknown quantity. I feel like he does have something in him, considering what he's going to be able to bring to the server in that Asian region, and he's going to have that opportunity to grow, like I said, in the top tournaments, because of course Asia has it's really the disparity between top and bottom in Asia is a lot greater than in Europe. So he's going to be able to get opportunities to those events, get opportunities to play against some really good teams. And then we look at the other side, Bosnia, who've had players that have just had so many reps just playing around here in the tier 2 European scene. It's become a really, really hard game to call at this point. When it came to the initial rosters that we were handed over at the start on the sheet, it looked like it was going to be a Bosnia victory, but it could have been close. But now you really can't tell the difference.
And in a best of one, that increased randomness can mean weird, wacky, and wild results. This isn't an entire series where if you lose your map pick, you can go on to the second and third maps. We just saw yesterday Belgium lose the first in a best of three. If it was a best of one, it would have been over right there and then go on to actually win the series. So that can change the dynamics a little bit. You leave everything on the table in that first map and you play every round like it's your last, knowing that it might as well be. It sounds like we're getting into the action in the next couple of moments. Obviously, Mirage being the pick here for our first map of the day. And I've got to say, best of ones, they might not be entirely popular, but I find them refreshing.
I do, because I feel like a lot of people do complain about the randomness. I do understand that, especially when you have a better team playing, but it kind of just shows the weaknesses of the top teams, in my opinion. But we have here the leaderboards. We're actually looking at Group B today. As you can see, Hungary and Poland's coming right after this. Bosnia versus Croatia, and then Hungary versus Poland. I think the first game, like we said, are going to be best of ones. But we actually have some really good teams here. You have the likes of Serbia, who have represented themselves. They actually are one of those, teams, actual teams that compete outside here. Getting to the RMR, Group C, not too much, action going on there. But when we look at Group A, when you have Estonia, a decent team, Israel, a really good squad, and then Ukraine as well. That one is going to be a very tough group to call.
Yeah, you know how much talent comes from each and every one of those three countries. And I've got to say, well, Group A kind of looks like the group of death here, right? Certainly the bigger national countries, the bigger rosters.
Yeah, it is the bigger rosters indeed, and they have been so good. Estonia, for example, another one of these teams, when we head here to Eastern Europe, because a lot of these teams in Eastern Europe tend to play with their, with other players in their own country, they're also teams outside of this tournament as well. So Estonia, we've seen them in the IEM Dallas qualifiers, taking a map off Cloud9 and almost winning it out, kind of choking it in the end. You have Israel, of course, a couple of their players competing right now in the ESL Premiership. You have Heavy God, you have Nerds, you have Mestel. So many players that could be selected for this Israel roster. It's actually Mori, Mestel, Shushan, Blue Phoenix, and Davy also competing in the IEM Rio RMR. So much talent here that have played internationally, and the fact that these are not just mixed squads from the same country, I feel like we're going to see a lot more better CS than we saw last time around because of this.
Yeah, and potentially going into the best of ones as well, we could see some massive upsets just in the group stage alone before we even make it to the playoffs. Remember, that'll be the case for each and every one of these teams from every one of these groups. We've got 16 teams in this regional. Of course, we topped and tailed the Western Europe portion yesterday. But now we've got to start off with the Eastern European portion. We are starting here on Mirage. It'll be Bosnia starting on this CT side. No kits, just Kevlar against the Croatian side, who don't have many nades of their own. It's all 10 members on this server right now, plumping for the Kevlar instead, and already digging into a bit of a mixed strategy. We see presence towards the A and B bomb sites. This might be somewhat of a split as they take underpass control. It's not been given away yet. They don't have any idea.
And they don't have any idea that it's going to be towards this A side of things. They've leaned towards the B site, and they've actually picked off a first kill towards A site. So that actually takes away that ramp presence. Catlich getting another kill, but on the CT site, Unsalted getting another frag. And actually, we might have a different roster once more. A lot of shuffles going on here, I've realized. Bomb planted, Depression coming in here from that jungle side, just being a bit of a thorn in the side here of the Bosnian guys, just trying to rotate. It's now a 1-on-2. They're sticking the bomb. Bomb's not planted for Depression. He's not hitting his shots. It's looking like a possible Bosnian round here, but Depression's running around. He stopped the defuse. But this time around, he's able to get it. And that was a very close one. I thought he was going to stick it there, and Depression could have possibly gotten it, but you couldn't tell.
Yeah, Depression was outmaneuvered there. He was stuck in jungle where that defuse was already happening. Need to get off that bomb, even find the kill. Don Salted, he was the man to open up this round with 2 frags. And Depression, that's such a sneaky angle inside the jungle. You saw every back turn. Nobody knew. He had just about enough time to get towards that bomb. Wow, 1-0. It's Bosnia to take the lead at the start, but we won't be seeing any saves here on round 2. It's all rifles for this terrorist side. Even Depression's scout coming through. He'll take off a pop shot. That one won't be accurate. Using that Emperor Wines to boost over the top. Depression is already watching for it. They both have their backs turned here, Tiddler.
Yeah, but again, connect your presence is just so strong out here for Bosnia that Croatia have their hands tied up in middle completely. But Bosnia, though, have taken, a heavy hit here, and they're going to try and get the advantage right back by pushing on forward. I don't blame them for this. Asimka is successful, and his teammates able to peek on from the short side to help out as well. So now it's Don Salted left in a 1-on-2. HP is low, so this is completely winnable.
The bomb It's a million miles away, stuck on an island. Don gets his head ripped off before he can even have a real foothold into that one. It's 2-0 Bosnia. This is where they can stabilize the economy and start to build that bank against what I'm only going to guess will be pistols. Croatia picking up nothing but deagles in this one. Maki actually with the Kevlar, the body armor. We've seen them prove so damaging in so many of these rounds. A lot of presence towards the B-bomb site. It's a bit of a split. Mid, Palace. That's where the first fight will happen. See, Catholic is actually on top of that wood. Such a difficult angle to unburrow, dig out. Maki's actually going to have his back turned. Smartly gets back into the Palace, but that's not going to save him.
Yeah, but the second battle here might just be in the B apartment side. D is just slipped right through the thread here. And he's going to hear depression. That's going to isolate the bomb as well. But he's actually going to go back and look for some more here. As he's able to get two. Oh my goodness, he didn't see him, I think. Seems like he does now. Eru Ilvatar, his teammate, will get that kill right back. And it's a complete decimation here of this Croatian side. And they've just been toyed with, I guess. You know, huge gaps in that offense. They spent way too much time considering they were leaning completely towards the B side. Information was there early on because of that early Palace play. And yeah, that allowed D to just go to underpass, get behind the backlines, and some easy frags there.
This is where things get interesting, though. Rifles in the hands of the Croatians for the first time. 5 AK-47s. That's going to be the difference maker. They know that they come into this one with an inherent advantage. Actually got slightly better weapons on this terrorist side. Going for a policy of mid-control once again. This is where we've seen Don Salted take most of his aggression throughout this half so far. And even finding that first pickup at Sego to eliminate one. Feels like they need to take a risk with the SMGs. Sending one inside the underpass. Actually trades up to the more favorable AK-47. Another of which clambers into the connector. Another headshot needed, and Don Salted has the perfect crossover angle. They're finding all of the kills right now. Only Catholic left. This is a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, looking at the positions down Croatia. One coming in from that jungle side. Does he possibly not look towards this section because he technically hasn't seen him? And Don Salted might just be able to say the same thing. However, he's still going to check this anyway. RB Furious is on low HP as well, so they'll probably want him to stay alive, or him to die first, rather. Catholic, though, trying to bait out something. The crossfires established, and Don Salted just going to hold the lines there. Good round out from Croatia. It seems like they're going for the mid-control early on here to open up their options, which isn't a bad plan here. And it paid off certainly here in the first gun round.
Yeah, that's been a staple of most of the terrorist sides we've seen on Mirage this tournament. Make it easy, not knowing if those executes are going to fall apart much more prevalently. Missed smokes can be such a problem when you don't have all of your teammates on the same page. They'll have the advantage taken into this one. Yet they respond with a double AWP setup on this CT side, one of which already getting plucked out of the equation.
That's not good as well. They're looking again towards this connector side to find some success, but that angle so thin, only seeing a shoulder. And RB Furious just pushing on in, getting another frag here beside the boxes. But Eru Ilvatar from short, finding a few right back, but it's not enough. Down to a 1-on-3 here. Catholic has tried to flank through from the ramp side, but is backing away here. Possibly maybe to save or just a reposition from the mid side.
Yeah, if he is going to go into this A-bomb site, it needs to be with a fast, surprising kill, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just clings on to this for A1S, keeps it into round number 5, round number 6 even, and we will see this terrorist side stabilize. It'll only be a single rifle presence on the CT side going into the next, and that's if Catholic can hold on to it. There's still so much time left on that bomb. Depression's even closing in down the connector. The AWP, remember, gifted away. Such a monster investment going to waste here. They won't make 4, instead allowing Croatia onto that second round win here on the T side. Depression's going to pick up that AWP as I mentioned, it'll be the only sniper presence we'll see in the server here in round 6.
Bosnia haven't been able to control Croatia's mid takes, it seems. They have been good with the trades, they have been good with that, but the only times they've been actively able to take full control of it back is when Croatia have had lesser weaponry. So it seems like in terms of individual front, it's been all Croatia. And now it's going to be an eco here, along with Katlich's saved A1S. And it's going to be a ramp play here. They're just stacked outside here. I don't know if they're going to push here. They're going to stay in depression. I think he disconnected rather than suiciding. So here comes that CT push here towards ramp. Unsalted holds it down. Takes a little bit of damage here, down to 15. Kalic going to peek in from the short side. And Sego's going to take him down. But there's been another frag here for the CTs. This has been damaging. That nade is heavy onto Serini. But Maki trying to find an entry path back in here into this round.
Remember that AWP is gone. That could be the difference maker. Croatia need to make the way into the B bomb site. That's where there's no defensive presence. Maki, in the meantime, sitting within that CT spawn, going to caution that AWP away. Wants no part of this one. Keep that sniper into round 7. It'll be the only AWP they have to use. Depression actually has enough money for one of his own, so we'll likely see a sniper battle here on Mirage. Will be 3-3. That's the scoreline we're looking at. Close start here. We said this would be a close best of 1.
Yeah, definitely is shaping up to look like that. Considering Bosnia have the confidence to go for that double up setup, it seems like they do have more than just, you know, just the basic stuff in store here. They want to bring some other stuff to the table to catch off Croatia, and especially that double up setup. I've seen so many teams that have, you know, relied on that double up setup here, and, you know, whenever a team is able to take that out of their hands, they've just started losing. And I hope that Bosnia aren't one of those teams, because it kind of like is really disappointing when we see, you know, stuff like that happen.
One of those AK-47s being prized away in the closing portions of round number 6 leaves them with a little less utility than is ideal. We would have seen an extra player holding incense, flashbangs. That can be the difference maker in a close round like this. Depression will hold the AWP for this T side. As I previously mentioned, there will be sniper rifle presence on Team Bosnia. More standard, B push. Hero needs to hold this one down basically single-handedly. He's got no presence. Simk is actually rotating in through the underpass, but he's going to be way too late to stop this bomb from going down.
Yeah, completely. And the CT defense right now is completely disjointed. I don't see how they get back here into this B side. I'm really calling a save here, possibly, considering the money that they have on board right now. They might be able to poke and prod, find an entry path right in by finding a frag or two, but there it is. Simka doesn't get anything at all. He's been smoked off, cordoned off completely. There's everything blocking himself from getting into that B side at all, and they're just going to set put here, wait in all positions, and they're going to try and contain them here in the B side and look for some exit frags. So right call out here for Bosnia, but a good round out here from Croatia. If they can keep all 5 players alive here, that would be brilliant, but it seems like that's not going to be the case here. He's able to take Maki. Serini holding from the apartment side. 2 casualties out here for Croatia, but consider that they just went into the B side and rushed right in. I think 2 casualties isn't that bad for them.
Croatia nicely finding the weakness there. There was only a single defender there on B. They're able to target it early. That bomb's able to go down and basically round over at that point. They take a 4th. They'll carry through 3 rifles here into round number 8 and can very easily reinvest into the others. Their money is starting to build here on the T side. And Bosnia haven't really got off the starting block. That first little triage of rounds, the only success they found on this CT side. He's going to have the AWP in hand once again and puts it to good use. That's a nice opening frag.
Yeah, and this battle towards Palace has been constantly going the way of Bosnia, and it continues to go that way as Katlic is able to find that. So double man advantage here. The op looks to make it more. Fires a bit prematurely. Oh, but 2 kills immediately right back here for Croatia. They have a foothold back in this round. Sika is able to find one right back, but the single man advantage here for Bosnia, I feel like it could have been way better for them. Croatia have always just been so resilient here in this round, or in these rounds, and they're pushing for some more here.
Swing out. 2 headshots. RB Furious finds both of them. That C4 will go down in the meantime. And Sereni, he's actually slipped through the smoke. Depression's ready for it. Croatia, that's 5 in a row here on the T side. Depression really starting to get firing as well. And he's a member you talked about earlier. You don't want to see his AWP constantly firing on the scoreboard. He's only found 3 frags so far, but it looks to be him getting warmed up here. He is once again going to have that sniper. He's been playing it pretty commonly towards the A-bomb site, switching it up this time, heading towards either short or B. I suspect that he'll be towards the short portion of the map, maybe actually boosting into the B apartments. So they'll have an advanced line of sight, knowing that this isn't going to be a B take in the early portions of round number 9. Instead, mid-control from Team Croatia. This has been a powerful strategy that they've employed multiple times. Depression single-handedly just waltzing that AWP onto shorts. He's totally smoked off. Can't see anything just yet. And that's before the FAMAS pounces into place.
Yeah, and look at those trades again towards connector. But this time around, Bosnia taking this one, taking the advantage as well. RB Furious, he's just slipped right through again. I don't know how good he's been with those. And Don Salted just had him as a distraction. He gets another kill onto the short player. That is so good out from him. Now a 1-on-3. Simka's like, where are all my teammates gone? And he's in a very difficult spot here, but that bomb still has to rotate right over. If he's able to pick off these individual players here, who are actually really spaced, you know, far away from each other, this might just fall in his favor.
RB Furious is making a lot of noise inside the connector as well. They do not know where Simka is right now. As you said, it's the element of surprise that could prove fatal. And, well, there it is. Gives away his position, finds a kill for it. That's a worthwhile trade. But here come the AK-47s to clean him up. It's Croatia with another one. These rounds have also been very clean. We've seen Croatia just take home easy 3 versus 1s, 4 versus 5s. That bomb's been planted in the majority of these rounds, not even needing to do so there in round 9. And it's all down to this duo. Actually finding space inside the window room causes absolute chaos. Simka does not know where to lurk.
That was just an easy enough round there from Croatia. I feel like Bosnia gave way too much away. I feel like that was definitely not to their intention. I feel like they were playing a little bit, I don't know, it felt like a bit scared.
There are
but
no defenders on this B site.
Yeah, I'm realizing this, and I was of the opinion that they did force into this, considering that, but they decided to go for a gamble stack here on the eco. And Simka's able to get that first kill, though, so at least there is something going for them. And Tunsalt is actually aggressing on forward. Don't know if this is going to be checked, but it is going to be battled out here. Maki's able to get that one, so should be easy pickings from here on forward here for Croatia to get 7 rounds in a row here. Very good.
Yeah, very nice round once again. Sniffing out the stack and going the other way. Another pistol falls, and that retrieved AK-47 isn't able to do too much as Croatia take a speedy round once again towards the B-bomb site. They've been so good at isolating. He's been the single member over towards B a lot of the time, and I think Croatia have actually realized that at this point. And they've been targeting that right-hand side of the map way more than we usually see. We see a lot of mid-control, a lot of A defaults. We don't often see T-sides really target B. That closed choke point of the apartment is often so difficult to get through. Changing the script here will be the A site this time. That's where the bomb is heading, and Donsol had given space right out of the ramp already. They're already pressuring this A bomb site, and Simka's got so much work to do. Walks into the AWP. Catalyx is next on the chopping block. Yes, they finally spot that AWP presence inside the CT spawn, but he's only got 25 points of health left. 1 bullet would eliminate him, and it's a headshot to add insult to injury. And now they know exactly where this final player is hidden within, and it's the AWP to clean him up. These rounds have just been so fast. I didn't even have time to throw.
Yeah, they have been, and I feel like Croatia, it's not even it's not even tactics, you know, really showing on the server. You can see how Don Salted was the one to throw that Molotov underneath Palace. Usually it's the Palace player that throws it because the players who come in from ramp already have so much on their hands. So seeing him get picked off there, but he just had, you know, so many players behind to support him, easily getting the kills, just decimating Bosnia one by one here. They're bringing something special to the table here with the boost, but Maki's able to pick off the first, and there's full information where the second one is because of that.
It's actually the second time they've gone for that boost this half, and both times it's actually been sniffed out, spotted out. You see the Molotov just thrown down instantaneously as soon as they know what that M4A1S is. D needs more than just the one frag and just unable to find it. The Deagle is next to full, and Simka, he's been left last alive in so many of these scenarios. We've seen him in 1v4s, 1v3s this time. Picks apart one head. He's got so much more work to do here, and they're going to know that he's inside the CT spawn. Depression's already burrowed his AWP in to watch him on the cross. Easy shot to hit. If I'm not mistaken, that's 8 rounds in a row here, or even 9 rounds in a row from Croatia.
Bosnia just simply not showing up. Croatia are just absolutely dominating on every front so far. You know, Bosnia, it seems like there's no coordination on the actual bomb site itself. We see players, you know, up against 3, and I feel like it almost feels like the info was just relayed so late. That's how it feels to me, because it feels like action isn't taken on time. And then before you know it, they're just in such a difficult spot here. The only time they've been able to get real kills has just been when they've been able to surprise them, or when D is able to get activated with that up, but we haven't really seen that for a long while.
They just haven't had the money for it. It's very infrequent that we've seen even the money to even be able to throw an incendiary towards the ramp room. Minute 30 left, and already so many bodies falling. This might be Bosnia's first round in just such a long time. Depression's AWP has other ideas. That's certainly the case. Sego's going to be the first man out. They've got an orb to contend with of their own, though. Dia's still sat inside the kitchen. He's been so versatile at moving around, and it is only Depression left. So loses his life quickly. It's Bosnia back on the board, but I feel like they need every single round remaining in this half, and even more than that, if I'm being honest. Otherwise, they're going to have such a thin, slim chance here on Mirage. Remember, it's a best of 1. You don't have a second map to fall back on after this.
Yeah, and it's the CT side which is more worrying, I feel. When you have Depression getting this much of a warm-up online here on the T side, it's only going to be easier for him on the CT side. And it's going to be back to a mid-play here for Croatia, more active. 3 players already coming on in here. And Depression blinded and through the smoke here, knowing the angle, completely taking down Catlich first thing. But Serini with 1, returning the favor in the short side. And it's going to be further aggression out from the connector player as well. He's able to get a kill as well.
Depression's been so good at finding these opening picks. That's a timing shot right through, knowing as soon as that flashbang pops, all you've got to do is wait 1 second and pull mouse 1, and chances are you're likely to find that kill. Nevertheless, they're a player down here and looking for a crunch on the A bomb site. Don has a foothold inside the palace, but what can he do with it? Simka burrowed inside of jungle is going to get that information. Rotates over towards the connector as well, as Maki is diverting all of the attention right now. There's a smoke grenade as well to block off all the visual. He'll burn alive. Ooh. And the AWP cannot connect this time. So Depression allows this bomb to get rotated down if wanted. He's actually going to get mollied off. This will surely force him forward into the waiting arms of the AWP. Bosnia with another one.
Well, okay, now they're pulling things back, and now it's round number 15. So 69 scoreline isn't all too bad, being honest here, but what makes things worse, like I said, is just the fact that it is the CT side where they're really falling apart on. For Croatia, at 10-5, we discussed this yesterday. 10-5 feels so much more different than 9-6. Like, even though it's only 1 round difference, but it feels so different, and I feel like Croatia will definitely be pushing their hardest here to get this one. And they're going to play a little bit more control, not barreling down the mid side, dropping the smokes, dropping the utility. And it's going to be a push here out from the Bosnians. And wow. Unsalted, able to get that one. Fast reactions there to be able to get that.
There's no universe where he should be finding that first kill. He's actually caught with a knife out and still finds it. Depression back away from the AWP is able to find yet another opening frag as Sego. He finds one and two of his own. That's inside the window room, and D has been eliminated yet again. Just Catholic left, and it's another 1 versus 4 to try and save this half. It's not going to happen. He knows exactly where Mackey's playing from. And that's just such a one-sided half, I've got to say. One of the key stat lines that I always look to in a game like this is the percentage of rifle rounds won. And Croatia, I think, taking 85% of them in that particular half. Remember, it was that initial 3 rounds after the pistol that allowed Bosnia to get onto the board at all. And that makes the scoreline look a lot more pretty than it is.
Yeah, and we've seen that loads of times already throughout, you know, the 3 days that we've covered this. It's really been, like, we've seen a lot from the Netherlands, getting the first 3 rounds on the board here and then not finding much after that. But we're here for the second half. Maybe things could be a little bit different. They're barreling down here towards the B apartment side. The dualies up in close range, welcoming them on in, but they're going to get the window side, and it's going to be D to clear it out. So he thought he was going to be free there, possibly getting loads of kills. It was actually the D side to get activated here. Sego peeking out through, and Croatia in a decent disadvantage here, and it's looking good here for the Bosnians.
Considering it's a pistol, they'll absolutely go for it. Sego looking in for this one, but everybody playing so passive, they're giving nothing to work with. Finally, a trio of kills. They come in simultaneously. Here come the USPSs. There is no defuse kit. I can confirm that. So they need to get onto this bomb right now. The defuse, oh no, it's happening.
Way.
They've eliminated all of them. That is such a brutal retake.
It is so brutal as well. They were confined to market completely. The positions, the crossfires were there, and yet they managed to have it slip away completely. Look at how the kills had just come in. You'd think that they'd be able to lock it in. A lot of tier 1 opposition were probably just saved in that moment in time to save the armor, save a bit of utility if they had any. Oh, but I can't believe it just went their way. I really can't.
Yeah, if there's any argument why you shouldn't be saving in pistol rounds, just play that round back a million times over. That's such an important pistol as well. I was just queuing up the speech about how winning both pistols in a best of 1 is so important. Neither team able to do so, and now the firepower advantage firmly on this T side. Remember, there will be rifles here on the defense, but it's just not looking pretty whatsoever. Euro finding that opening kill. Unsalted. Oh, can't quite spray that one through the smoke. So the M4A1Ss need to burrow in from multiple angles. And Simka's able to take another face-off.
There's no way this slips this time around. Bomb planted. And especially on the A side where everything is more wide, I feel like here is your opportunity. Don't peek into that. Depression just so sharp. But it's going to be his teammates to help out there in the end. Bosnia, I feel like they've just not been putting themselves in training positions. We saw that when Eru Ilvatar was starting to run on in onto the stair side. You can see here, he had his teammate on the right side. He was staggered behind him, knowing fully that he was going to take that battle. And I was scared there if Eru did not get that first kill, things could have slipped completely out of their control, because that could have been an easy 1-by-1 peak that Croatia could have easily taken advantage from.
Deficit of 5 now, and there's no way in hell this CT side will be saving here. They'll pick up D-Goods instead. Sego out with Scout. All mid-control. And they actually know the presence of 2 of these D-Goods now, so this crunch on the B bomb site should be successful.
Another kill, and heading here to the B side. It's another force fight battle out from Croatia. They really want to take the battle to them. He's doing a load of damage here. Still the disadvantage with them, and how does Dunsalted win out that battle? Finally, Simka is able to neutralize Sego through the smoke, and low HP onto Dunsalted as well. They have an A1S in their hands. Safe call is probably going to happen here, and yeah, it's going to be another round here for Bosnia, reducing the deficit to 4. But still a long way to go here, considering what Croatia have been throwing at them. Depression looking for a little bit more, maybe to find a rifle, but it's nothing in the end, so they're not going to reach Dunsalted in time. So he's going to stay alive here, carry that A1S over to the next round here. I'm assuming probably going to be an eco. Not enough, you know, damage dealt onto the Bosnian side to warrant themselves, you know, into a force buy again.
Yeah, good 2 kills from Simco once again. He's been so pivotal at opening up these bomb sites. We saw it previously on A. This time towards the other side of the map, there will be rifle presence on this CT side. Just the one M4A1S that was saved by Don Salted. We won't see much investment around it. What are they going to do with this single rifle presence? Potentially send it towards mid, try and get aggressive and find a couple of rifles. He'll be heading, actually, I think towards the B bomb site, so expect to see him walk upon short. This has been where Bosnia have made most of their approaches. Early cat control once again, and they do spot out that first rifle. It's D, just prodding into B.
Yeah, this full stack here for Croatia. It looks to be handled quite well out here for Bosnia. Probably that information is handed over. Maki trying to force the issue here. Maybe catch 1 or 2 off guard. Don Salted taken down. Serini just locking these B-sided players down. D using that Glock to his advantage here. And yeah, this is curtains here in this round as Bosnia have made the right choice, not bothering to fight completely onto the B site. Just having a few players here and getting that bomb down, which is their priority.
Yeah, depression hasn't been spotted inside of the window, so there's an opportunity to at least do some damage. And, well, there's the decoy, rattles through, unable to find the kill. Those shots are so painful when you miss them. It feels like that kill just handed to him on a silver platter, and he's unable to finish his meal. There'll be an 8th round here for this T side, so making the scoreline look a little more manageable here on Mirage. Remember, I can't really overestimate it. This is a best of 1. So you can't afford to let these leads slip. Depression only with a Scout here in round number 20. It'll be the only sniper rifle presence here on the server. As Bosnia look to set their talent upon the A-bomb site. That's where the C4 is negotiated. Expect to see Serini go down the underpass, put presence on connector, pressure towards multiple angles. Molotovs just now raining in. The Scout only finding 1 tag's worth of damage before going down. Here come the AK-47s. Simka does get eliminated by Don Salted. He's traded. Now Maki held out by the smokes.
Yeah, going to be peeking on through from the ticket booth section. It's going to get absolutely removed out here by D. Sego trying to get his way back in, but it's Furious. He's relying on him so that both of them could get activated at the same time. Maybe find something here. They're 1 man down. But Bosnia seem to be wanting to take the fights here as Serini takes take it down, but at least they're able to get those kills pretty fast, Yarm. I was really skeptical because a lot of the times you see teams trying to force the issue, take the battles here. Bosnia kept relenting. They kept jiggle peeking out, tapping away. I was scared for a second considering how sharp Croatia have been so far that they might have thrown a few kills away. And when Serini it fell, I felt like that could have been the start of something, you know, bad out from Bosnia. But at least they're able to clean it up in the end here. 9-11 now.
Yeah, just stabilizing their economy here in this round, but the gap between these two teams will be just 1 point by the time they have rifles in hand once again. Let's see how much damage they can do in this one. They've not been keeping these rounds close. It's been a very one-sided T-side. It's been a tale of the T-sides here on Mirage. Remember that 10-5 first half? Even won the pistol round. Unable to capitalize as of that point. Bosnia closing up that scoreline. And Eero actually has apartments control here, so that gives them the freedom to wrap back. Looks like Croatia know what's going on, though. They've got a flank in place. He's about to get spotted out by D. Looks behind at the right time. That should force them into this B-bomb site. I wonder if they decide to go elsewhere, knowing that they've given away so much information, not wanting to walk into a stack. They've been so good at managing the info on this T side, and they are going hunting elsewhere, so a non-committal approach to B.
Time, though, might be a bit of an issue here, especially if Croatia able to slow things down. Maki there considering all these players are coming from this one spot, maybe aside from Serini, but he's going to be there quite late, so they're going to have to force their way on in. Good flash to ensure Maki is going to be neutralized. 4-on-3 situation now, and all the players here for the Croatia side seem to be coming from the jungle and CT sections. And it's going to be planted here as Aerial Vitar through the smoke getting Sego. And now there should be curtains as RB Furious. Maybe he's able to get this first kill, but again, the trades are finally getting into place here for Bosnia. It's starting to break the ice, starting to get warmed up here. Simka close it out in the end. Bosnia only one round away from tying up the scoreline here and breaking even.
Both teams officially on double digits. The cap, as I mentioned earlier, just one now. That's the key moment there, though. D turning around, realizing that there was a flank underway, gave all of the information that they needed to rotate over to A and to get that bomb down way more safely. You don't want to be walking into a stack against pistols. Just Desert Eagles, P250s, they can be so much more dangerous when they combine. A round of the slower variety here. Just taking some mid control and putting D's AWP up into the B apartments. Depression does have one of his own. He's holding that towards the B bomb site also. No, he's actually the other side of the map, peering over the smokes inside of the connector. No information yet. It's been quiet.
They're getting set here to try and stop these Croatian players from rotating under, possibly. Where's that bomb drop, though? Doesn't seem like it's on anyone. Yeah, it's over there towards the apartments. Yeah, seems there. And now they're going to start entering on in here. And they've been holding the underpass section to stop these mid-rotates. And Katlich has already advanced forward. Oh, they've actually went on, but he's heard that. So that information is going to be relayed here. But I think it might have been a bit of a sunk cost fallacy at this point, because Katlich is able to get one, but the 2 kills come in here for Croatia, so advantage is heavily here for the CT side. But Serini, though, from the back lines has been able to do it. I didn't even realize he was in that position at that time. And now Depression's scrambling here. I don't know what he's going to do here. And they're both trying to jump in the same section. And it's spraying wildly through the smoke here. But nothing has been found. But it's been Depression to break it. Now Serini finding that trade. It's now one-on-one here. Don Salted going to reload. Take his time. And both players going to peek out here. First point of contact. Shoulder on in. And Serini, that is a crucial round for him to find. 4 kills in for him. And Bosnia take it. And I feel like that could have went either way here. So hectic in the B bomb site.
That's all about position there. The combination of him and Katalik looking through this smoke. This was the 5th kill that was found. Serini doing all of the rest of the work, though. Slipping into the marketplace early. Able to find all 4 of these kills, even maintaining composure in the clutch. That was such a fast headshot. Doesn't even look like slow motion, but I can promise you that it is. Levels up our scoreline here. It's back to pistols for this CT side. Maki with the only SMG presence has already been wiped out of the server. Being advanced in the apartments lets them know that there's no other defensive presence here on B. Only the Deagle looking to pitch in from afar. He needs another headshot here. He's unable to find it. That bomb's going to go down already. Depression on shore, unable to do anything. He's been locked out by the Molotovs.
Yep, and Consulted trying to find something here, but Katlich, he's started to activate, starting to get online here. Bosnia, it seems like they started to iron out their mistakes, something that we talked about that was crucial for both sides in this best of 1, especially how cutthroat things are here. There's no second chance here in another map. Moving on to your own map pick, you kind of have to take it now here. And Bosnia overtaking Croatia, albeit just being a half buyout here from the Croatians. Just the way that Bosnia have been able to dispatch them in so many of these rounds has been truly impressive, considering the situation they were in the first half.
Yeah, they've been able to rebound perfectly, and it's all been off the back of this B take. They've been going towards Old Faithful time and time again. They've been so aggressive towards this side of the map, and Croatia only just taking a break of pace, a tactical timeout. They've got enough to scramble together rifles. Depression's AWP makes an appearance again on the server, but he's been so quiet throughout this CT side. He's not been able to get it firing whatsoever. I'd say Don Salted has been maybe the saving grace from this defense, but he's been unable to do it just alone. He's been so much more impactful on this terrorist half. Katalik and Simka, they've been so powerful. Simka's been such an aggressive threat. You basically never know where he is. whether it's inside of the market or just a random smoke on the bomb site. They take the lead for the first time in just so long. They're 4 away from victory here, and this is where you've got to be feeling the pressure. We've not seen many tactical timeouts taken in this tournament, but that is certainly one of them. An important one at that. Just gives you a breath of fresh air. They're going to respond with aggression. Katolik is so ready for this one. Crosshair trained, and he finds 1 kill. Knows that there's presence from Maki as well, so they can back off and rotate elsewhere.
Yeah, that's a good play out from Croatia, to be fair. 1-for-1 trade isn't all too bad for them. Feels like they need to get that information early on here so that they can have the numbers, so they don't end up in situations like where Don Salted is just on his own on a bomb site, where it's just too late. So they're just going to rotate on over here. Maki is holding this ramp side. Serini is going to battle this one out here. I'm waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Possibly the smoke fading in and out of vision might grant something here. Sego getting an important frag here. One player has slipped right through into jungle, but that information has been relayed. He thought he killed them. Ends up doing it, but pretty late here. Sereni's able to activate in time. 2-on-2 trades galore here. Finally, Furious getting that frag, and Croatia seem to have themselves in a good position here to take this round.
Sereni's been so key in these clutches, though. Another one awaits. 1 versus 2. That nade, oh no, it's going to land perfectly. He takes the majority of his HP away, and there's an incendiary grenade to fall where that one exploded. RB Furious finishes it off. He knew exactly where he was. This defuse can come through in plenty of time. Orbs can be just salvaged here. There are actually 3 on the ground. Exactly the same place. So Depression has one. They don't want to put all their eggs in the double AWP setup basket. 12-12. It's Croatia's first round since the CT pistol. Just feels so long ago. These AWP will make a reappearance here in round number 25. 4 AK-47s. They've got a full chest of utility on every single player. All 10 in this server, in fact, have enough money for a full 100% investment. Such an important round. Especially for the CT side. They've got barely any money to fall back on if they lose this one.
Nothing at all as well. That's the main problem. Well, they do have a little bit, but I don't know how the loss bonus is going to be. I think it's on 3 bars, so they will be able to get something. I think that's why at least it's a good thing that RB Furious and Dunsalted, along with a few others here, have a bit of residual cash here. But running on in, RB Furious with the AK, getting that first frag through that wooden pallet, tries to spray through, but Simka to find it, but from long range, Depression finally getting a little bit of life here with that AWP. Catlich though has dropped on. Do they realize that he's there? Doesn't seem like yet, because Depression peeks through. He's gonna fall, but it's a 1-on-3 here. Simka, good for a shot. Sego wasn't in the best of shape in terms of health, so you'd expect him to win it out here, but 2 players left alive, one coming in from short. Bomb is dropped there, and it's looking like Unsalted might want to take the battle here, possibly. But creeping onto the bomb site itself, Maki is here, maybe looking to lock it down. He doesn't know, and he shuts it down. Croatia getting themselves 13, and they're starting to find themselves, you know, they're starting to find their footing here in the second half, finally.
Yeah, and let's check it on the money once again. Both teams afford a buy in this one. But the money's starting to lessen on this T side. Remember, they will have a full investment. Ability to pick up that AWP as well. They've been stuck in so many 1 versus 2s this half. Simka just tries his best. Maki's got such a good angle, using the distraction of his teammate upon short to slip his way out of the market onto the bomb site, activates the flank, and there's no possibility of that C4 even going down.
Yep, and this mid play from Bosnia, I feel like this is so important because Croatia have relied a lot on rotating a bit from the short side and kind of suffocating the Bosnian players whenever they try and execute the bomb site. So they will have to lock this part down here, Croatia. They want to be able to take this one, head things to 14, but the defense is spread out from them. Bosnia just setting up, waiting for Croatia to make a move here, but seems like they're not going to make it. It seems like it's going to have to be Bosnia to be the one to break the ice.
This is slow. They've definitely crept that pace down to a halt Bomb not committing just yet. Instead, sending it towards mid where it can divert to either bomb site. B seems to be where they want to put the pressure on. Seko, is there a gap through that smoke? He's desperately trying to peer over it. Unable to spot anything. And that's given away the entirety of short. Here they come.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get that first kill of Simka again from the short side. Seems like where Bosnia have been finding some success. It seems to be their forte, where they like to go. Ilvatar getting that kill from the van side, but trades again. Croatia just being so present, omnipresent everywhere. He's able to find one right back to pressure now in a 1-on-2. Jumps on in, and Ilvatar will close it. Now, this is starting to get really scary here, because I'm really looking at that economy here when we enter the late stages here, because that could make or break it for either one of these sides.
Yeah, Croatia's loss bonus is a lot lower than it was 3 or 4 rounds ago. They've won a couple of rounds in a row. That puts them at $2,400 per player. That's not enough to get out a full investment here in round number 27. That could give away a 14th round from Bosnia. They could be on map point incredibly quickly at this rate. An AWP only spotted on this T side. He'll be using it towards the ramp. And here come the AK-47s. Deagles, they need to hit headshots. There you go. That's so much damage done. Takes another peek before falling back into the connector. He'll get smoked off. And that might be a saving grace at this point. You need to get rid of that man right now before he rips you all apart. Look at how low so many of these members are. That's courtesy of the Desert Eagles. And Depression has this Mag 7. It's such a random weapon. How much I'd love to see a 1 versus 4 with this shotgun. Here in this tournament, Depression just flirting his way in. Remember, they do not know where he is yet. And this is going to be extreme long range. The ace from Iru. He absolutely needed it.
He's one of those players that we didn't realize ended up playing here in the server, but it doesn't seem like it matters all too much, because he's top of the board right now, just dominating, getting an ace in that one. 25 kills here out of 27 rounds played. It's been impressive so far, considering we didn't know much about him. But now we're seeing things go the way of Bosnia once more, and the economy of Croatia, it's fallen. If they lose this, it's 15 for Bosnia, and they will have absolutely nothing going into the next round.
And that's 25 kills, considering he's been used as cannon fodder into these bomb sites. He's leading the charge once again, knife out. He's just running all the way in, sacrificing himself for the team, and will get taken down. This time without finding an opening kill. Mackey's only got the USP in hand. That M4 just out of ammo, and he's going to get taken down. This bomb, they're going to hold it for a couple of seconds, ready for Catholic to get a couple of kills. Depression. He strikes through. The C4 finally getting tapped in, but he has the angle on lock. Don Solta comes in from the left side. It's them versus D. Oh, finds a quick kill, and he knows exactly where Don's playing from. That's such a fast shot.
No way. That was so clean as well, the headshot as well. And he's able to save that AWP. That's going to be huge for Croatia. It keeps them barely afloat here. But still, even with that round victory, I don't know how the buy is going to be here. Yeah, it's not looking great still. Sure, they have that up. Donsalti could probably drop over to a teammate, but, you know, I feel like they will have to make some concessions here. But on the other side of Bosnia, it seems like they're set here possibly for the rest of this game in regulation.
Yeah, we will see a full investment featuring 5 rifles on this T side. That AWP making an appearance once again on both Sereni and Depression. He's been so slow. Remember when I called him out earlier? He had 14 kills, only managing to scramble together 16 at this point. He leaps into underpass. He tried to make it onto short, but just slips at the wrong time. Now he's stuck on mid, but nobody's going to punish it. Instead, they're falling back to what looks to be an A default. That smoke will hold things momentarily. Remember, they've got so many smoke grenades. It's going to be full execute, and there's no information on this Croatian side. Yeah, they've got mid control, but no presence elsewhere. And as the smokes fly in, it's going to become painfully obvious what's coming.
Yeah, Erulvatar again Such a crucial entry frag out from him. He's already looking for more. Going to be a respoken connector. It's going to be a struggle, but that nade, that's crucial as well because it finds a trade even though they've been blocked off completely. So now Serini can get that bomb down here. This is such a crucial round here. 4-on-4 retake. And tapping away. Sego already doing some damage. If he peeks out again, I feel like he might be in a situation where he loses out this battle here. But moving up on the stairs, Sego finally getting that kill into Catlish. Maki getting that kill as well. Forcing his way on forward, flicking onto Serini in Tetris. And the rest of the kills fall in place for Croatia. They've done it. They've gotten the past 2 rounds here. They're here on match point. And Bosnia, they might be ruining the last few rounds here.
How on earth do they find that round, Croatia? That's such an impossible retake. And you see just bodies out in the open. It's so easy for them to find these frags. That timing from Maki, incredibly crucial there. Just 1 more second and D's able to pull the trigger and even up the numbers. Not going to happen. Croatia, match point here. It's best of 1, remember. And Bosnia, they've got rifles in for this final round of regulation. They'll be sending 4 of them towards this A bomb site. And Serini upon mid. He'll be trying to take connector control, but there's an AWP waiting for him. When will this information be given over?
Yeah, but execute on today's side has been happening. Meanwhile, it's blocked off a lot of the vision here, but Unsalted holding it down. Sego with it. And all of a sudden, not a lick of damage has been dealt. It's a 1-on-5 here for Catlich. It's over here. 16-14 surely now locked in for Croatia as Maki seals the deal here. I can't believe it. Croatia looked out of it for a lot of that second half, but they showed up towards the end. And Bosnia, oh, that's unfortunate for them because I think they felt like they might have just had it towards the later stages considering the economy.
Yeah, I'm totally flabbergasted. Croatia looked totally out of it. Like, they didn't look like they had a convincing CT side whatsoever. They were leading 5-10 at halftime. They won the pistol round, and from then they were stuck on an 11 until the scoreline was closed, until they were actually behind by a round. And from that point, they're able to claw it back. That's actually pretty remarkable here, and especially in a best of 1 where you don't have anything to fall back on.
Yeah, I find that so impressive considering that towards the end as well, you know, Ariel Vatar started just firing so well, entry fragging his way in, getting every single battle, every single entry frag his way. Look, unfortunately, we don't have the stats here for, you know, the opening duels that he's had, but it's probably outrageous. You know, him stepping up and being such an unknown quantity as well was so impressive. But Croatia to absolutely destroy them towards the end like that, not dealing any damage at all here for Bosnia. That was a really impressive victory, especially on Mirage, and we predicted it was going to be a close game, and it really went the full distance here, full 30 rounds.
Yeah, and it didn't look to be as well, coming from the first half. It looked to be just a one-sided showing. We go to the break early. Nevertheless, we're going to switch off the stream for the time being, come back for 7 o'clock CEST. Just before that, we'll have the pre-game, as we will play another best of 1 today. We'll have an extended break in the meantime, so don't go very far because we'll be back at 7.
One purpose, one dream, one rhythm, one step closer to glory. They say history remembers the winner. So who will be the ones writing the future? The halls of power call for their kings. The ones who won't back down. The ones who believed. The ones who knew that over 100 nations can't be wrong. Join the fight between August 24th and September 3rd as Yash becomes the world's esports capital.
In the heart of Iași, Romania, the world's top gamers have gathered for the ultimate showdown. IESF brings heart-stopping matches across a variety of gaming genres in an electrifying experience that celebrates the passion and dedication of esports athletes from around the globe. This is more than just a tournament. This is where champions are born, legends are made, and anything is possible. Get ready to witness the ultimate display of skill, strategy, and heart. The IESF World Esports Championship. It's about to take your breath away.
Do you think you've got what it takes? The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, International Esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting for the championship in a celebration of everything that makes esports great. Who will rise up to the challenge? Who will be the world champion?